I'm not sure if anybody's come across this before, but it's an analogy that I've seen used a couple of times, and I thought it'd be appropriate to use today. The iceberg principle, as I've called it. You see icebergs, all you see is what's floating on top of the surface of the sea. What you don't appreciate always is what's underneath. And this is the same with any system, particularly online systems, where you just see the part that you need to see to go and buy a ticket. You don't understand what sits behind everything to make sure that works. And it's important that everything below the surface of the water, it's important that that does work, because if it doesn't, then the iceberg will just break up and you won't have a system. So applying that to the process slide that you saw earlier on, that is more detail about the process that I spoke about. So there you have, above the dotted line or above the sea, we have actually 4 different areas there. The customer there is still in the top left-hand corner, but also there are 3 box offices, one in the Sheffield Theatres, one at the Sheffield City Hall, and one at the Sheffield Arena. All need access into the ticketing system, and more than likely all at the same time. Below the line is everything that sits behind all of that to make it work, and below the line also is everything that's located at Ponds Forge, where our computer room is. So we have, if I can go through this fairly quickly, starting on the bottom left, we have not just one web server, we've got 7 in order to cope with the demand, and they are connected together in what's known as a cluster, and that cluster is, again, using IT speak, load balanced. So it shares the load. Every time a customer comes in and wants a web page, then it's the load of that is spread across all 7 web servers. If one breaks, it doesn't really matter, because we've got 6 more. Yes, we need to fix it as quickly as possible, but unless there's a massive demand on the system at the time, the customer will not see any difference. It will not slow down. They'll not get any errors showing on Internet Explorer or whatever other web browser you might be using. Now, of course, we need to keep it secure, so it's all sat behind our firewall. So that's represented by the 2 brick walls just above the web cluster. And again, to make sure that things work properly, we've got 2 connected together in a cluster. So again, if one breaks, it doesn't really matter. We'll fix it as quickly as possible, but it's not going to stop people getting to our websites. It's not going to stop people from buying tickets. In the middle are 4 application servers, again clustered together for exactly the same reason, to share the load. And if one breaks, because hardware does break down, whether it's something to do with power, whether it's memory, whether it's a processor that's burnt out, or a hard disk that's gone, something will break. So we've got 4. If one breaks, then we can fix it while the other 3 are looking after everything. And then on the right-hand side is the cluster, another cluster of database servers. So they're all connected together on what's known as a SAN, Storage Area Network, SAN. And that uses fibre cable to connect everything together rather than traditional Cat5 copper cabling, because we can get faster data speeds across fibre.
Can I just ask a question here? I don't know if some of you are worried about this. I am. He's got 14 servers there, I think. And my question is, why don't you put everything on all 14? Then you've got even more chance of it all working. Why do you need a separate server for a database and an application and a website? Why do you need a separate server for a database application and website? Can you fill us in?
Yeah, what we do, the reason we split this, and probably it is industry standard, but it's about protecting the environment in the sense of you are better protected against any kind of failure if there are any problems. If you're relying on putting everything across all the boxes, you've actually got more to manage, because instead of, let's say for example, 3 boxes with a database on, you can have 14 boxes to manage with the database on to make sure everything's connected properly and can see all the data properly. Similarly, if you've got 14 web servers, that's more of a security threat. You are web servers, there are people out there that try and hack web servers. We've seen it ourselves on a number of occasions. You are making systems more secure if you separate these responsibilities across different physical devices. I think that hopefully will answer the question.